You want to know one simple tip to earning $9,000 this year? Well, make sure you stay to the end of this video so we can tell you exactly how. My name is Darius.
And I'm Carmen. We are going to blow your mind with this one simple hack that is going to allow you to have over $9,000 a year. So, Darius, are you ready to jump into it?
Well, before we jump into it, let's set the scene.
Okay.
Every single day we spend money.
Yes.
And we spend money to the tune, on average, of $164.55. That's 7 days a week. So if we can maybe take one day out of the week and maybe not spend money, then we'll be able to save over $9,000. And here's the thing. Every single day or every single time, every single thing we do, what we want to do is we want to have a day of rest. When we go to work, we want to work 5 days a week, and we want to have one day where we just hang out for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Even God took one day off. So we should take one day off from spending. And just by taking one day off from spending, on average, we can save over $9,000 because there's 52 weeks in a year. And then if we are able to save $164.55 every single week times 52, that comes out to about $8,556.
Woo!
But it's not going to end there, because what happens is what you focus on expands. Mm-hmm. And just by saving $164 a week, we're not going to just end there, because we're going to find other ways of saving, because that's just how we build. What we have to do is we just have to get started on what are the easiest things for us to do.
Yeah. So let's take a moment and just kind of reflect on what it is that you just said. Mm-hmm. Because when I like how you said everything has a day of rest.
Everything
right?
has a day of rest.
Like your debit cards and your credit cards are smoking. So give them a day of rest.
But Amazon be killing them.
but the bigger picture is to have you create better financial health and better awareness to what you're spending money on. Because a lot of times our spending can be subconscious. We don't even know that we're doing it, or we're doing it to fulfill a certain emotion that we're having at the time, right? We want to feel better about ourselves, or we're angry, or we're sad, or we're happy, or whatever it is, or we want to reward ourselves. And sometimes a lot of the spending that we were doing doesn't really justify the time for you to spend the money. So when you just take a day off, call it Monday, call it Sunday, whatever it is, and you just say, you know what, I'm not going to touch any of my cards today, it's really going to make you start wondering, like, wait, why did I have to go get that coffee this morning? Or why did I have to go do this? Or why did I have to go did I even need to make this purchase? And then do
you even remember the purchase that you made?
Subconscious spending.
Right.
Exactly. So now it should get you to start thinking about other purchases. So if your day of rest is Sunday, then you go Monday and you start spending again. It hopefully should alert you to the fact of every time you bring your card out, why am I making this purchase? And is it actually going to bring significant value my way? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times we just look in our houses and realize that it's filled with a bunch of junk, and all of that money that we could have saved to invest and make money is just taking up real estate, no pun intended, in our real estate.
Right. No, just think about it. What did you have to do in order to earn that money? And the what you spend it on, is it a good reflection of how hard you work in order to get it?
Ooh,
because I think a lot of us, we work very hard for the income that we earn. First off, because we're not paid our worth when we have a W-2. So not only are we not paid our worth, but we then go and spend it on something that we don't even remember in which we bought. So it doesn't balance out in how some of us spend money. Mm-hmm. So when you start thinking that way, okay, I worked really hard to get this money and I'm just going to blow it, or I look back on it and don't even remember what I spent it on. Mm-hmm. It needs to match.
Yeah, I agree. And then you could also fall into something which we're all guilty of is, oh, it was just this. Mm-hmm. It was just $10. It was just $20. But if you had all of the money back that you said it was just, how much money would you have at the end of the day? And what would your lifestyle look like if you were able to save a few more of those pennies and use that money for investing so it could make you money.
Right.
So the perspective that we're just sharing with you is now about intentional spending. We talk about this a lot on our channel, but living with intention, taking ownership of what exactly it is that you're doing, and start challenging yourself to think about how you are transacting money.
Right. Now, the money that you spend, you should feel good about, I think, if I can go back to that, because I think of different family members that talk about what they do and how hard it is for them to get up and go to work. Or even I talk to some family members before they go to work and they're like, oh, let me go to this place. I got to go here. Or we're sitting in the parking lot. Nobody want to go into work.
Yeah.
We should be spending our money on something that we enjoy because we did something that we didn't enjoy to get it.
Ooh.
We did something that we didn't enjoy to get our money, so we should be spending our money on something that we do enjoy.
That's a nugget, and not just something that's going to fulfill
temporarily
a temporary need.
Yeah, a temporary need.
Immediate gratification.
Right.
That's a really great perspective. I never thought about it that way because, again, if we are doing all this working and we're doing what we maybe don't like, then the money that we receive should be doing something that we actually really enjoy and something that's going to bring us significant value.
Right. When we think about how much emotion we assign to every single dollar that we have, the emotion that we have that we assign to it in order to get it by us going to work and being around the people that we don't like, spending more time with those people instead of our families, just so we can earn a dollar. And then the emotion that we assign to it when we have to pay our bills. Money itself doesn't have an emotion, but we are very emotional creatures around the money that we have and the money that we spend.
Totally.
So if we can start matching some of these emotions with something that is serves us more and makes us happy, then I think we'll do a better job in not only having a better attitude about earning money, but also have a better attitude about how we spend our money and the things that we spend our money on.
Yeah. And when we are aware, if we take a day of rest, we may be aware of some impulse spending. And this could also help us become more aware of how to spend, like we say, more efficiently, or how to go about your finances. Because when you have a plan, 9 times out of 10, you perform better when you're more proactive as opposed to being reactive.
Right.
And so with this whole process is just almost detoxifying your finances. Sometimes we have to go on a detox when we have a diet because we have to start over. And this is your ability to have a detox with your finances because it's all about starting over and building upon it.
Right.
So with this one simple step, literally, what did you say? Over
$164.55.
$164
every single day.
and 55 cents on average. That's average. You could be spending more than that.
Yeah.
Right?
If you make more, I'm sure you spend more.
Yeah. So that's the bare minimum that we're talking about. You could be able to save even more than $9,000 if you're just aware of how much you spend on a daily basis and then how that continues to compound throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, and how that is affecting your finances. So really get in tune with this and then start creating strategy around this and get your family involved, right? This doesn't have to be a singular activity. Get your family involved. Challenge yourself, challenge your spouse, challenge, anyone who's spending money in your household to do the same thing, because then that's just going to continue to compound when you involve more people in this process.
Right, because we can take that day to spend time with the people that we love, playing board games or having a conversation about money or having a conversation about how your week went. It could be a day of reflecting in your household on your week. It could be a day of just spending time together. I think so many times we wrap our happiness around spending money, going out and doing things where that's not necessary.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why we're having this conversation today is there's so many times where people come to us where they say they don't even know where to get started. This is someplace where you can get started by just taking one day out of your week to say that I'm not going to spend any money. I'm going to take this day and I'm going to maybe spend time with the people that I love where they are. They come to me and we're just going to reflect on our week and how we can maybe set up next week to be even better week. So this is just someplace where we can get started, where we're going to put a stake in the ground and say, this is the one thing that you can do once a week that'll save you over $9,000.
And the other thing too is create a challenge. If you are getting your family involved, try to figure out how many free things you can do on that day and then keep it going every week, especially if you live in a nice metropolitan area. You don't even have to live in a metropolitan area. Go outside, have an amazing picnic because the weather is is nice. That doesn't cost you any money. Or go to a park, go for a nice run, go do whatever it is that you need to do, because you'll start to recognize that maybe some things that you're doing for free that don't cost you money bring you the most value, because it's not stuck in, to your point, this superficial need to have things. Maybe you're getting a little bit more connected within and reevaluating who you are as a person, because now your mind isn't just so saturated with all the marketing and advertising that's coming your way and being influenced to make certain purchases.
Right. And I'm just going to say one thing that I do, and you may say, oh, he country. or
you are country.
A little farm kid. But one thing that I enjoy doing when I go home is my mom, my dad, and my sister and I, what we would do is we would just sit down and talk. Like if I come home, go back to South Carolina, we'll spend one day where it's just the four of us. And what we'll do is we'll just sit down and we'll talk. And a lot of times that talking doesn't require television. We're sitting outside under the garage if the weather isn't great, or we're sitting on our front porch and watching the cars go by.
With sunflower seeds.
Well, yeah.
You have to set the whole tone.
Yeah, we set the whole tone. We're sitting on our front porch watching the cars go by and waving at the neighbors, and the neighbors come over and we're talking and having a good time. But that's something that I look forward to doing when I go home. And a lot of times when I call my mom, she's outside hanging out. So that's really important for us to be able to connect with people on a level that doesn't require money, because it doesn't require money to have a relationship with somebody. And if we can expand our relationship with the people around us that we love and cherish the time that we do have together, we'll start prioritizing those relationships over money.
Ooh, very good point. And that's one thing that Darius and I value. And for those of you who continue to follow the Wealth Nation journey, you value it too, right? We're not just always talking about money. That's why we say wealth is a mindset. It's all about health, wealth, and happiness. It's all about what are you doing to create whatever wealthy looks like for you. And for us, wealthy is about having not only an abundant mindset when it comes to our wealth, but also having wealth in friendships, having wealth in our health, and just feeling like overall our overall well-being is in our control. And so that's why it's important for you to understand little hacks that you can do to improve your life. That's why we're going to continue to come to you with more hacks that you can continue to do to improve your life, because at the end of the day, money is everything, and everything is money. So if we understand that every time we spend money, that can affect our health, wealth, and happiness in a positive or a negative way.
Or you're complaining about the fact that you don't have any money to do a bunch of things. Take a day and don't spend it.
You're welcome. It's that easy. We overcomplicate this thing called life far too often, and it's up to us to help you just zero in on some simple things that you can start doing today that will make large changes in your life, and also maybe affect those around you. With not only just in your household, can you challenge your siblings? Can you challenge your parents, your cousins? Like, hey, let's all take a day off and see what happens, right, and see how this changes our lives.
Maybe it's a family Zoom call if you're not in the same
that's a good point.
area as your family. Maybe it's a family Zoom call. Maybe it's just a phone call. What can you do in the place of spending money just on that one day? And the more creative you get, the more you'll find that you're more fulfilled, because money itself doesn't bring you happiness. What brings you happiness is what you choose to do with your time.
Ooh, nuggets. And I think we can end on that one, folks. So if you want to then learn how to be more strategic with your funds and create passive income with all of the money that you're saving, check out our next video so that you can have more hacks at your disposal.
Remember to own your own lifestyle,
or someone else will.